Like, there's too much music. Spotify releases like 300,000 songs a day.
Parents, beware of what your kids are watching because Netflix has done it yet again.
Every day, our president faces storms most people never see.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. Y'all make sure you guys watch from start to finish. That helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's do what we came here for. Let's go and get into it.
Look at the world that we at, man. We still live in times where it's like, damn, we so lucky we grew up in the 80s. You so lucky you grew up in the 90s, like before the internet, like life before the internet. We so happy to have this technology, nigga. Life was better before.
I think it is an overload of information because your brain can only retain a certain amount of information before it has to suppress certain thoughts to let new information in. So we're taking in so much information daily that your brain is replacing the info that you just doom scrolled for 12 hours the day before to digest the new information, thus making us dumber. People can't remember phone numbers. People reading levels is down. People can't do basic math. Might be the dumbest generation ever.
No cursive.
And we have the most amount of information, but it's an overload of information.
So that's that theory I always use. Too many options, it causes confusion. Not enough options creates frustration. So damned if you do, damned if you. Where's that sweet balance at? Now that's up to you as an individual to find that, but just generally speaking, where do you draw the line? And so how do you go about it?
The phenomenon we're seeing now is that a lot of people don't really know what to do to make money. There was one viral video I saw where a woman said that she went to college, she took out loans, she got a degree, and she can't find work. Nobody's hiring. We're dealing with some kind of recession. It's a weird, like, Gen Alpha is half the size of Gen Z. I bring it up all the time. So we're about to go through some weird shit.
You hired a registered offender that you knew was a registered offender in a show that's marketed to children. It was a gentleman that goes by the name of Delaware, which wasn't his real name, but they call him Delaware because all of the crimes he committed on a person between the ages of 1 and 11 were committed in Delaware, where he can never return to. And Jimmy got caught calling him Delaware on camera.
Right.
So that
and
means
he's wearing a face.
Of course, they put a mask on him and called him Zorro because they didn't want people to look up his picture on the registry and see his photo and see that he was working for Mr. Beast. So they stuck a mask on him, which is an admission of guilt. Like, you knew his background then. If you changed his name and put a mask on him, you knew his background.
A registered offender, that's fine. There are things that you can do. You can be a mechanic. There's plenty of jobs. You can work in a factory. You don't get to work around kids. And as a registered offender, you know better. So if you're seeking those jobs out, there's a specific reason.
You're trying to put yourself in positions to where you can have access to children.
Right. It's certainly not because, oh, well, I do sound for productions. Right. Yeah. There's lots of productions that don't have 12-year-old kids walking around.
Yeah.
So you're going out, you went to Nickelodeon, and then you went to Disney, or you went to the Mr. Beast podcast. Like, there's something going on. You're targeting these environments where you can be surrounded by children. And for Mr. Beast to not know that.
Let me tell you what scares me the most. I'm in some weird rooms because of the nature of my job. I'm in rooms where the people who run these platforms that own the CEOs of these business and the founders are in these rooms. And I hear them talking, and I hear things that are so misaligned that it panics me. So I hear someone say, hey, tech billionaire, what should my kids study? I'm worried for my kids. Wow, they should study coding, physics, and then 5 minutes later, as if that answer didn't happen, someone will say, to what do you attribute your success? I mean, deeply when you think about it. And the same person will say, my deep reading of philosophy and the Stoics.
I just instantly tipped and went into a tip and went into a slow tilt down a 50-foot hill.
Oh my gosh.
And that's when fight or flight kicked in pretty much. And it felt like it was minutes, but it was maybe seconds, And I tried to hit the tilt out of it, see if I could get the weight to come back and, catch the whole machine in myself. But it wasn't tilting. It was too far gone. It was slowly tilting over and tipping down this 50-foot hill. And so I went, as it was at an angle like this, I'd say upwards. I went to go Superman dive out of the cab.
Oh my gosh.
I unbuckled my seatbelt and went to Superman dive out of the cab, which I blinked in midair, expecting to hit the road and be all good. But I blink and I open my eyes and I'm halfway down this 50-foot hill and I'm seeing this forklift roll down towards me. Like, I don't know if the seatbelt wrapped around my leg and flung me over the cab, or I don't know exactly how I was flung over the top of the forklift.
This is 20,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somehow I end up being flung over the top of the cab and I cleared the forklift to where I end up flying down the 50-foot hill, landed on all the dirt that we had from the job site, which then broke my collarbone, my scapula,
There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes in Hollywood that nobody knows about. And if they did, it might not exist anymore.
Now, allegedly, the guy that recorded this video right here of what looks like a portal has not been seen. Now, how the story goes, this guy was driving down the street and he saw this something glowing in the back. He parks his car, he brings out his phone, he starts recording. Now, as you looking at this definitely looks like an opening to a portal. It has a cross shape, it's shining, and it's glimmering. Now, at this exact same site, they found his phone, but they did not find him. Now, I don't understand how that happened. Maybe you can't bring phones inside of portals or any type of electronic device, but I want you to pay attention to the shadow that's on the ground. Like, this right here looks like real good footage. And nobody knows where the guy at that recorded it.
Wendigos. What is it?
One of the terrible stories, there was a mother and 2 children. The father had been lost or killed while out hunting, and the issue with that is there is a spirit, and it's a Ojibwe winter nature spirit, and it's able to get into you if you have consumed human flesh. And then you become this creature, and your heart becomes ice. Then you have a hunger that only human flesh will cure. And that's one of the reasons why the Wendigo is so mad. It's hungry all the time. We were driving in Canada, we did a haunted house show, and the snow is 8 feet on either side of the road. If all of that came down, you can't open your door. You can't go get food. But there's people in there with you. Maybe someone dies first.
And
that's 170 pounds of meat laying there, and you haven't eaten in 3 weeks.
I don't want no parts.
Right, exactly.
I don't know, y'all. I've heard stories. Like, I remember this dude Cooper. He used to be on 12 News, the sports guy. I don't know if he still is. His son went fishing, with a group of guys, and they got lost out there, or stranded. And I guess it turned cannibalistic, like instincts kick in, y'all. Survival kicks in. Not saying I would do it or not. I don't know, y'all. But if you're in that situation and there's no food and you're like starving to death, instincts will kick in. That's my opinion.
So going.
That's crazy. That's ridiculous.
Oh, why is it happening? It's folded over.
For a brisket sandwich.
That's actually bad.
It seemed like they gave him the fucking ease to like do whatever the fuck he wanted. I walked out as like Jay-Z, and I don't know, he just did like the fucking Freemason symbol, and it was just like, I don't know, no one really goes at Jay-Z in those industry settings, right? So it was like fucking savage.
Virginia has told elementary schools to begin teaching in the dark so that local data centers have enough electricity to use.
Did you see that 71 teenage girls were found and rescued under New York City in their tunnels?
Really? Like the tunnels that, what's it called, those we're using?
Yes, dude.
Swear.
And this recently just happened, bro. This
didn't even make the news, y'all. This didn't even make the news. But you know what broke news and was viral everywhere? I don't think I put it on the video because there was really nothing from it. That damn couple that proposed on top of the Empire State, that's everywhere, on everything. Nonsense. But did this, all those young ones underground, or even back in the day with them coming out of the ground, fighting with the police, all that, didn't even get on the news, y'all. Not even on the bottom ticker. But you go climb that Empire State Building, that's a distraction. But this type of distraction, they don't want that.
blew my fucking mind. So this happened this year, and it was this school that was going on a field trip to like this park out in New York, and it's like a popular park. All of these kids were out there, and allegedly these kids, 71 of them, wandered off and started like exploring the park, eventually got lost and found their way to this big drain, traveled for miles underground, allegedly.
Yeah.
This guy who's like in a restaurant, who works at a restaurant like miles away from where the kids even entered, he starts hearing a bunch of little kids in his restaurant. So he's like, where the hell is that coming from?
What the hell?
So he ends up going to the back of the restaurant, and he starts seeing a bunch of little girls all coming out from this drain in the back of his restaurant.
Really?
So he's like, what the hell is even going on? So then he calls police. Police get there and they start to like, you know, get the rest of the kids out, all of the kids out from under there. This is the thing that people think is very interesting about this. Have you ever seen a school bus that can fit 71 students?
Never in my life.
Thank you very much. Let's start there. 2, when they found all of these girls, their shoes were clean. In a tunnel? Underground?
Clean clothes, clean shoes.
Clean clothes, clean shoes. What are the odds that none of these things add up? 71 students, and let's even add the other element. What teachers do you know that are going to lose 71 of their students all in one sitting? Come on, bro.
And all these kids are like in their teens.
Yes, all of them were teenage girls.
So all the girls in this class.
Specifically girls.
Nah, that's weird.
Yeah, all 71 of only the girls, none of the boys. Wanted to go and join the girls?
And pause it a little too late. Like, look who was standing around them, watching them come out of that hall. A bunch of grown men with those things on their heads. Bunch of grown men, beards, 40s, 50-year-olds, watching these young teens walk single file line out of a building where I never knew this drain existed.
Weird as hell, bro.
Thank you, bro.
There's some more darker with that story.
Thank you.
Very bad for a single fella like me, because a girl will not get into a Rolls Royce because it's too posh. So I keep a little van. It's a lot better.
Thought you were going to say there was too much room on the back seat, but I don't actually think
There is. So I keep a little van. It's a lot better.
Thought you were going to say there was too much room on the back seat, but I don't actually think
It's
crazy.
Out of all the videos I've ever done, I've never seen a guy make it so obvious as to what he was. And it's so obvious that the people who sit next to him in these clips know what's going on and either just laugh it off or pretend that it's nothing. Now, it's already been proven that certain entertainment companies did actually cover up and ignore the things that this man done. Well, the proof is in the pudding. You can see it in this clip. And it just shows you if you got enough status, the right people, you're connected to the right people, you can literally get away with the most evil, demonic things.
Like, there's too much music. Spotify releases like 300 fucking thousand songs a day.
Really?
Who the fuck is listening to all this music, dude? If I can't keep up, how can a fan of music keep up? So I think that the excess of it's just static, and it's really blown a hole for original stuff, you know, really good stuff, because a lot of the stuff is all kind of sounding the same now.
And they're all paying to get their video or their music. The ones that are at the top that you open Spotify and it's right there first playing, they're paying. Their record label is paying to put that music on there. Joe Rogan's on Spotify. I wonder if he even knows that. A lot of people go on there and talk crap, and then Rogan's like, "Oh, I'm on Spotify," but they pay to have that music on there. They used to pay to have their radio, top 100 billboards. They're paying to be on that top 100 billboards. TikTok, they're paying these creators that go viral every day to put their song on TikTok so that you go stream it. Like, they pay for this. It's not organic.
Be aware of what your kids are watching, because Netflix has done it yet again. Not only is this show creepy AF, but it's rated TV PG. Just watch. So this is called The Amazing Digital Circus.
Really want to know what I want? Oh no. I want the ability to have sex. No way. Are we finally having this conversation?
And that's not even the worst part.
Private room where nobody can see or hear you once inside. And this is a loaded gun. Character A will take the gun into the private room and empty it out of all its ammunition. Then come out and give it to Character B. Character B will then take the gun and shoot themselves in the head, trusting that Character A emptied it in the private room. Character A will also have to trust that Character incentivized to follow the rules and trust each other. Sounds a little convoluted. You look convoluted. Anyway, Jax, why don't you start? Him?
In what world is that
What?
okay for a PG rated show? I'm not the first person to bring awareness to this show. I saw a TikTok from somebody else. But the more people that bring awareness to stuff like this, the better.
Was talking.
I mean, I can't even say the Sioux word. You know what I mean? With the "ide" in the back of it. My channel will get blocked if I say those words. Like that's a kid's show. I put this is not for under 18-year-olds. Every day in the settings when I'm editing or uploading my video, it asks you, is this for children? No, it's not. It's rated R.
A pilot one time, bro, and he told me, he said, in order to get a plane off course, you don't have to turn it. You just have to change the trajectory for 1 inch.
Just a little bit.
Just 1 inch.
And it starts going in the wrong direction.
If it starts going in the wrong direction for 1 inch, for the continuation and duration of the flight,
yeah,
it will end up on the opposite coast.
Recently, I noticed everybody carrying these giant water bottles everywhere. But nobody was this thirsty 30 years ago. Why is everybody so thirsty? I assumed we just got smarter about hydration, right? On the surface, that does make sense, but the data actually tells a different story. They looked at how ultra-processed foods affect the body's thirst signaling. And what they found every single time is that if you eat something heavily processed, your blood becomes too concentrated. Your body fires a hormone called vasopressin to dilute it, and your mouth literally goes dry. As long as you keep eating processed food, that signal never resolves. You're not thirsty because you're not drinking enough. You're thirsty because your body is perpetually trying to dilute everything that you're actually eating. Your grandparents didn't carry water because they ate their hydration. Cucumbers are 96% water. Whole foods, watermelon, celery, strawberries are living water delivery systems. Previous generations got a significant portion of their daily fluids from food alone and without thinking about it once. Now we eat dry, shelf-stable, processed food and wonder why we're always thirsty. Your body doesn't need more water. It just needs a reason to hold on to it. I'm Drew Canoli, and we're in this together.
I don't think we're always thirsty. I just think, like, if you're active, they tell you, drink a gallon a day. The water industry tells us to drink at least a gallon a day. The food industry says eat at least 2,000 calories a day. I'm really curious. We got people that watch from South Africa. We got people that watch from Africa. We got people that watch from New Zealand, UK, Canada, you name it. Germany, all you guys. Let me know down below. Does your food people, what amount of calories do they tell you to eat? Water. What amount of water do they tell you to drink? Because we got our second channel is like, it's going to be Americans going abroad doing things. And they're just saying, how you spot Americans? They got a big thing of water with them. Like, you guys don't drink water out there. What is the daily recommended water? And what is the daily recommended calories that your powers that be tell you guys to drink and eat? Please let me know down below. I'm very curious. Very curious.
Charlie Kirk's not actually dead.
What? I don't know. I saw some videos a lot on Twitter that day.
It's questionable, dude. Put it this way. You look at his...
Either his wife, Erica Kirk, was in on it.
Weren't they just like a classic Christian couple like y'all?
Oh, no. In the video, it wasn't actually him. It was a hologram.
Oh.
There was a trap door. They covered the trap door up, like right either that night or the next day. I thought that's the cover-up people.
The cover-up people. So where is he now?
In hiding. So all of the, like the Charlie Kirk stuff, like the celebrities, all of it
Dude,
goes...
she's batshit insane. You married her?
When all of it goes down, you'd be like, oh, that batshit crazy lady, she was actually...
The worst abuses in MK Ultra.
There were many. The Frank Olson case, which was referenced earlier, that was a murder. I don't believe that was... the motivation was because he was going to be a whistleblower. He worked at the CIA, he worked in the development of biological weapons, and he was planning to go public and announce that the United States government was using biological weapons in the Korean War. And also he was going to share what he knew about MK Ultra experiments, including lethal experiments. And there's a documented case.
How many, gentlemen, how many people do you think died through the MK Ultra program or were murdered?
No idea.
If those who died largely were outside the United States, many people were experimented to death in that safe house in Germany that I visited, and people in the neighborhood told me they knew what was going on in that house,
So
and
crazy.
that people who were experimented to death are now buried in what used to be forest plots that are now covered over
Do you
with
think the
apartments.
German government knew what the U.S. government was doing? Do you think there was a partnership there or knowledge?
Yes. There is a memo that was written by the German Secret Service to Konrad Adenauer, the Chancellor of Germany, telling him Americans are here capturing citizens, capturing people and conducting extreme experiments which are in violation of German law. And Adenauer decided to put that aside and not to
I
investigate
have one more
further.
question because I have 15 seconds. Is this a massive cover-up by the U.S. government?
It's certainly a cover-up of what happened in the past.
Mr. O'Neill?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You know, it's so crazy, y'all. Like, the more and more you watch these things, the more and more things get exposed. The more and more we see why Iran wants to do these things. Why terror? I'm not trying to vouch for them, right? But we're not good people. Our powers that be, the people are. Unfortunately, we're the pawns. You know, during 9/11, it's us that get offed. When we're actually good people, we want good. We just want, you know, cheaper gas, cheaper houses, cheaper cars, right? We don't honestly really care if there's WMDs over there. Like, honestly, we care about our pocketbooks. We care about our young ones. We care about our circle. But these powers that be do all these crazy things that make these people hate Americans when we're just good people that if we saw them walking down the street, we wouldn't even be hatred towards them. We wouldn't even think nothing. But the powers that be are the ones that, unfortunately, we're the pawns, y'all. Long story short, we're the pawns for what these idiots in power do that don't give a damn about us. They don't do it for our benefit. They do it for their pocketbook.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You go to a club, you meet someone, you have a conversation.
Yeah.
They might know who you are, might not. You sit and talk, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, you are so-and-so and so-and-so. And then you form a friendship. I've done it. I've been places and have formed friendships with individuals, and I'm like, Jesus, right? Like, you know, let me check the news before I visit or have a drink with this person, because I don't know what the heck is going on in their life.
Right.
And I don't want to get caught up in no BS.
Right.
And so I think you could have a situation where Chauncey Billups or someone is at a club, they meet someone, maybe low end in the mafia. They become friends. He says, yeah, man, me and a couple of guys play cards all the time. And they're like, man, we can sell you this table, kind of give yourself the upper hand. And then he says, cool. He says, you know, they do it with the glasses and it works out well. And then he's like, hey, man, you know, thanks for the table. You know, we kind of do this in different locations. It's like, cool. We want to be a part of it. We're going to provide you all the digital assets that you need in order to rig the games. You ain't got to pay us for it up front. Just whatever you skim off of them, give us a piece. It's just, in their minds, it probably wasn't a big deal, right?
Well, I don't know, y'all. That'd be like, why don't you do it at your place? Why you want to do it at my place? People get offed for that on site if they find out. Like, I'm not doing that here. Why are you asking me to do it here? I just met you at the club where we're all drunk. Negativity in here. And you want me to do something that if this guy finds out, I'm done. Like, I don't know, maybe these NBA players and these coaches are just idiots and don't think, maybe. But I don't know. That doesn't sound very smart to me. Like, that'd be a red flag. Like, wait, what? You want me to rig a game over money where if I get caught, it's pretty much a game of Russian roulette that's going down right here?
The meaning of last night's sky over Venezuela. And why do I say that? Because if you haven't seen the viral videos, last night, during the sunset in Venezuela, the skies turned completely red. If you haven't seen these videos, take a look at this for yourself. Have a look at these skies right here over Venezuela last night. Just incredible to see.
Eerie.
Video after video appearing on social media, showing the skies turning red, completely red. And have a look at this breathtaking video right here that was captured with the red skies over the city. Just unbelievable. The videos and images that are coming out of Venezuela are just incredible to see. Some are even saying that it's a sign, while others are saying that it's a sign of hope for the battered country that dealt with 2 tragic earthquakes in the past week. So I guess my question to you is, was it a sign for the Venezuelan people of hope, especially with the tragedy that they've been dealing with? And thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by this tragedy. And hopefully, like I said, they can pull through this together and find peace and strength amongst each other. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
You're saying that cancer is to some extent a problem with your immune system. It is everything about your immune system. So you've got all kinds of defective cells that could become cancer or cancer in your body at all times.
At all times.
But your body is zapping them.
Correct.
Right. And that's the fundamental balance of the human body.
Correct.
And when that body gets out of balance, when the killer cells become suppressed or less effective, that's when you get cancer.
Correct.
I always wanted.
They say if you do a 3-day fast, just nothing but water, maybe some bone broth, like all those cells get reset, rejuvenated. If not all of them, like a big percentage of it, and your chances of getting that sickness drops dramatically. Just 3 days. 3-day fast with water. I've always wanted to do it. Most I ever done was 36 hours, and I never felt better than that, ever. I've never felt better than that.
Candy, but it's tough to paint. What do you mean by candy? Come on, man, you're in Texas. Candy paint, glittery, real pretty. A lot of people don't know that when you're painting candy, you can't just do a quarter panel and then move to the door. You got to be a skilled, like, experienced painter. Like, you can't keep armor off or anything they use for detail card in the same room. You get a chemical reaction, and your paint job will look like shit. Mechanic work and paint work cannot be in the same room.
Congressman, real quick, how do House Republicans make the case that you're fighting for affordability when you go back to your districts?
Affordability? What are you talking about?
Well, affordability is the big...
I'm going to go there tomorrow. Over the 4th. I'm going to get me a couple big lobster tails. I'm going to get me some nice ribeyes. I'm going to sit in my backyard with my family, my neighbors. And we're going to be enjoying the 4th, celebrating 250 years, the birthday. We're going to be celebrating the greatest president in my lifetime, Donald J. Trump. Maybe watch some fireworks.
You think the 60% of Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck can afford lobster tails and ribeyes and all of that?
Maybe not. Maybe the 60% of America don't work as hard as I do either. I mean, I don't know.
Operation Paper.
This is the Republicans, y'all. Even Democrats feel this way, but at least they fucking tell the truth and maybe lie a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Don't just come out and say, like, oh, they ain't working hard enough. Work harder. Like, that is so crazy to say. Now, I know Democrats feel this way too. Deep down, they don't care. They don't care, y'all. You know, before we were like, well, at least Trump's openly racist. At least he doesn't hide it. I'd rather see the race. But just coming out and saying, like, I'm going to eat lobsters while you guys are eating 80-20 ground beef burgers on great value hamburger buns and some generic potato chips. And I'm over here eating lobster and steak with my neighbors and family in my mansion. Just need to work harder, even though they're stealing our money. That's your work. You steal our money. You steal our tax dollars. You know when the stock market's going to crash, so you pull out or you put money in it when it's going to go up. This is how you make your money. You're only supposed to be making, they say, 6 figures, 100,000 salary. I don't know. But somehow you're a millionaire and a man. Like, that's crazy, y'all, that he comes out and says that. If you're still for this freaking guy, you need to wake up, y'all, because I still see comments on people, not on our channel, but like, say I watch that clip, people will still make excuses for him in the comments. People will still make excuses for him. That's crazy.
brought over 1,600 German scientists into the United States government after World War II, including individuals who had conducted human experimentation in concentration camps. The CIA and military were aware of their backgrounds and recruited them anyways. In your research, did you find direct documentation between paperclip scientists and the development of MKUltra's experimental protocols, specifically the use of mescaline, hypnosis, and sensory deprivation, which were techniques also documented at Dachau?
Absolutely. Kurt Blume, who was the chief of biological weapons development for the Nazi government, came to work for the CIA. So did Walter Schreiber, who was the Surgeon General of the Nazi army. I can just tell a brief story. When I was researching my book, I found what I think might be the first secret CIA prison or black site. It's a nice chalet in Germany. And the guy who now owns it took me into the basement. He said these were the cells where the MKUltra officers, working side by side with Nazis, carried out those gruesome experiments, which were actually just continuations of the experiments that those Nazis had been conducting just a few years earlier right down the road.
Just for timeline and clarification, these experiments were happening after the Nuremberg trials, correct? So the CIA would have known that these were crimes against humanity.
I looked for an episode in which the Nuremberg doctrines were posted on the wall in some MKUltra or CIA office, and I was never able to find any indication that those Nuremberg principles ever were even consulted, much less obeyed.
Thank you.
You know what's crazy? Nothing's going to come from this. The CIA isn't going to get shut down for doing these crazy things. Things have been coming, the drugs, the crack epidemic, crazy things, right? Kiki Camarena, a DEA agent getting tortured. CIA was in the room when that was happening, asking him questions, torturing him. Guy's still part of the DEA if he's still alive, probably a high-ranking chief. Nothing's going to come from this. Why are they telling us? Probably to clear their conscience, their subliminal conscience, so they can, get away with it. But nothing's going to come from it. No one's going to get arrested. It's not even going to make the news. Ask your parents, ask your family. Did you hear about this? No. There should be breaking news. Thousands of people were tortured, were MK drugged, and told to do crazy things. Nothing came from it. They killed a president. JFK. More than one shooter. Let's find the shooter. They never find the extra shooters. They just tell us there was more shooters. They never went looking for them.
See this? This is what Sony's trying to get rid of. They don't want you to be able to do this anymore. This is why it is so imperative to speak out against this corruption and speak out against this bullshit. Look at this. Got all my PS3 games. All my PS3 games. Look at this. Look at the beauty of physical media. Look at that. PS4 games. All my PS4 games.
A lot of money.
This is what they're trying to destroy. This is what they're trying to erase. This is not only a fuck you to you, the gamer. This is a fuck you to game preservation. This is a fuck you to game developers that pour their heart and soul, 4 or 5 year development cycle, to show nothing. For the project that you worked so hard on to be erased from history as if it never fucking existed. This is what Sony is trying to get rid of. They're trying to get rid of this. They're trying to get rid of this. This is what they're trying to get rid of. Don't let them fucking get away with this shit. This is beautiful. This is amazing. Having physical media is a godsend. Don't let them get away with this. Share this fucking video. Repost it to the heavens. I dropped Dying Light. But yeah, this is crazy, bro. Like, this cannot go on. They're trying to get rid of this. This is one of the biggest reasons why I'm proud to be a gamer. Because of shit like this. Shit like this. I love physical media. Don't let it die out.
The only way you don't let it die out is if you don't buy the new Grand Theft Auto, which already sold $1 billion worth of, pre-orders. So it's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, I got all my. The last console I got was either Xbox One or a PS4, right? I don't buy no more. But I still got all the hard game, like the hard copy games, y'all. Like all the Halo Master Chief, Halo 3, Halo Reach. I was a Halo fan. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, 3, Black Ops 1, 2, Advanced Warfare. Like I got all those, you know what I mean? So, one day I'll hook it back up. I don't think I'll ever go get that PS6 for $1,000. But, you know, I still got a Super Nintendo with the Mario games, y'all. Like it is something special about having those, and showing your young one when they're a little older some Mario. You know what I mean? Like, but they're taking it away. They're taking it away.
So I looked up and seen grown people working kid jobs and wasn't nobody saying nothing about it no more. I knew the economy was fucked up, bro. It been a time where you would see a grown person at McDonald's and you would talk shit about them. Now, if you see somebody there, you ain't gonna say shit because you get it.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody hiring, ain't no money flowing for real. Even in the street, the money not the same. Yeah. So it's just all messed up all the way around.
I think Uber gave us the first taste. Remember Uber? Like everybody was Uber driver at one point. Okay. And like remember, like Uber, people were kind of judging people for being Uber drivers, but now it's like totally normal to be an Uber driver.
That's what I'm saying.
DoorDash was the new thing. I don't know why. I guess because it's food related that people were like, "Oh, you're DoorDash, you're broke." But it's like, I don't know, bro. I know people making serious cheese off DoorDash. It's like,
hey, look, let me say that ain't nothing wrong with DoorDash and none of that.
Yeah.
If I gotta do it, I'ma do it.
It's good to a stepping stone to me, in my opinion. But there's ways, y'all. There's so much. Like, go to yard sales. Go to yard sales, buy things for $2 and sell them for $30. That is all day. If you got good thrift shops, I'm in Arizona, y'all. These thrift shops are amazing out here. Thrift shops are amazing. Out in El Paso, thrift shops suck, right? It's all trash. So you're not going to make money. But if you're in a city that has great thrift shops, there is so much YouTube content out there where they tell you. The guy that I learned a lot from, I don't know if he's still doing it, Flipping Junk, right? That's his YouTube channel. Flipping Junks, and he'll just go through and tell you this is what I buy. I learned so much. I learned like phase 10 dice was easy $50 and they're always at thrift shops. Uno games, certain type of plush, certain jeans to look for, certain shirts to look for, just so much stuff, y'all. So much stuff that they give you knowledge for free. You just got to go do the research. And guess what? How awesome would it be to wake up and be at Goodwill at 9 o'clock and have your route of Goodwills lined up? And for 3 hours, I'm going to go out. I got $200. I'm going to go spend $200. And guess what? Off that $200, you're probably going to flip it for like $5,000. Doesn't happen like that, right? You get a sell here, sell there. You're working at your job. Go do it on a Saturday, Sunday. Yard sales are even better than thrift shops, y'all, because people give their stuff away. People give their stuff away. They don't even know what it's worth. They're just selling a Super Nintendo for $2 because they think it's old and trash. Nobody wants it. You can sell that Super Nintendo for, I don't know what it is. Let's just say $50 on eBay. Bought it for $2, sell it. Selling their kids Nintendo 64. Kid went to college. Kid wants it, but the parents are like, let's get rid of it. It's junk. Ain't nobody can buy this. It's from the 90s. It's free, y'all. That is all day, every day. Yard sales all day, every day. And I promise you'll make some money, y'all. Easy money. And it's fun. You take pride in it when it's your own instead of going to work for an Uber. You can make that same money out there, y'all. I can go on and on about this and telling you guys, but it's only a handful of people that are going to actually try it.
Of course, they're $4 for 97 cents. 4 for $1. And we're talking about gallon jugs. Can you guess what juice brand that is? Tampico. Pero tú lo sabes ya. Tampico, between you and me, it's no hard feelings. I'm not trying to bring your company down. I am just saying the truth. Your juice never gets cold, nor does it intend to. It doesn't matter if you serve it in aluminum cups that you put in the freezer for 2 hours. It doesn't matter how much ice you put in it. It really is a phenomenon on y'all part. I have no idea what type of chemicals were mixed in the process to make this formula. I don't like to see no company on a decline, nor do I wish bad upon anybody. With all the attention that you're receiving now, you guys are in a critical point where you could revamp the company. Y'all could come out with something less oily, something captivating. A new formula so powerful that even Plankton would try to steal it. Y'all fed my tribe for many, many years, so we gotta give credit when credit is due. All the EBT users, the WIC users, y'all came through. When there was nothing else to drink and you did not want water at your house, you had to resort to these. But the simple fact about it all is that we drank it anyways. And y'all should be proud about that. If there's a way to change the consistency of oil and make it a satisfactory drink, y'all are in business. Don't give up on me, Tampico.
There's a guy by the name of Carl Higdon. Carl Higdon has a very interesting abduction story where he encountered a being called himself Ozo-1 who communicated to him that, look, we come down here, we take elk, we take fish. He was an elk hunter. Interesting thing about his story was once he was taken, the being who took him said, you're not what we're looking for. He brought up his illness with his lungs. The being healed that. And when they brought him back, they just dropped him on the top of a hill. He fell down, injured his arm, and just dropped him off. Not as if they were dealing with somebody as one of their peers. If you look at the story with Carl Higdon, it seems like he interacted with a robot, somebody doing the duties of a higher civilization. And if you research the Greys, they're robots, they're drones working with somebody else.
Bro, there has been so many cases of time travelers. Have you heard about the one about the girl at the Elvis Presley concert? No, what is that? So there's resurfaced footage from this Elvis Presley concert in 1977. And in the crowd, you can see a girl. She's pointing what looks like a smartphone, recording Elvis Presley.
No way. Elvis had all the girls.
People said that it was probably like a autograph book or like an old camera, but none of that's been like validated and no one's been able to prove otherwise. And the crazy part is this concert was like Elvis Presley's last concert before he passed away. No way. And people are saying like this is like proof of a time traveler because they would go back in time and go see Elvis Presley right before he died.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it looks exactly like a modern day iPhone.
She's even holding it like this.
Yeah, she's holding it like you would.
Like an iPhone.
Like you would record an iPhone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't usually believe in conspiracy theories, but this one is crazy.
That's actually crazy.
Lake Michigan. Lots of people swim in it every single year without issue. But then again, a lot of people do drown in it as well. This TikTok video that I got tagged in shows a person hanging out here by the waterfront near Chicago. Here we can see Lake Michigan. The water is extremely choppy. It looks kind of like the ocean, and it says, "This ain't no lake." Well, first off, Lake Michigan is literally a lake. I know that it seems like it might not be because it's so large, but it is. That being said, it's definitely a lot more dangerous and rough than you might typically find in other lakes. Typically, year to year, you're going to have 40 to 50 people that drown in Lake Michigan, which accounts for over half, usually, of all the drowning deaths that take place in the Great Lakes. One of the main dangers of the lake are the currents, which can be quite unpredictable, especially the structural currents, which are going to be found by the piers, docks, and quays that jut out into the lake that people jump off of to swim from. So if you're not a strong swimmer, I would definitely not recommend jumping into the lake. And of course, it goes without saying, but you should definitely be paying attention to the current lake conditions because it's going to vary hour to hour, day to day.
Get off of the cell phone, get off the fucking internet, be a person, and learn how to love yourself so that way we can end the cycle of destruction. We can end this cycle of hate. There will be more love in the streets, more genuine love, more genuine care for people. You can't care for someone if you don't love yourself. You're not supposed to be alone and then start hating yourself, bro. You're supposed to see things about yourself and change it. That's what it is. You have to change it. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds fucking hard. I know it sounds tiring. But it's better than really being a fucking, like, a drone and basically only living in anger and hate and living in regret. Like, don't live in regret. There's no point in living in regret. Take advantage of time. It's not always in your favor. Take advantage of time.
The cool thing was the first temple I went in, at the very top of the temple, you have one of the most famous hieroglyphs, which has a spaceship, a helicopter, and a submarine up there. As clear as you can possibly imagine. And
Show that.
How in the, what is that? Explain that, please. Because that looks like a spaceship, that looks like a submarine, and that 100%
a yacht
looks like a helicopter.
That one.
That one right there?
Yeah. I mean,
what are we talking about?
Come on. That's so crazy.
That's a spaceship or a fighter jet.
Some kind of a...
That's a submarine. That's
pounded.
That's a helicopter.
It looks like a helicopter to me. It looks just like a helicopter.
Yeah, that was the first
if it's not a helicopter, what a goddamn coincidence.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a bunch of weird stuff there. A bunch of weird images.
So weird.
I went there last July.
Did you?
June.
How was it?
Incredible. Yeah, it was incredible.
Did you walk away thinking immediately, there's a lot we don't know?
100%.
And how about that one plane that they found that was inside? They found like a wooden plane.
Yep.
The internet did its thing and took the license plate from the back of the SUV that transported Charlie Kirk to the hospital and found the VIN number and pulled the Carfax report, which tells us that this vehicle was first purchased in Utah on February 5th, 2025, just a few months before Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And that date, February 5th, just sounded so familiar to me. And then it dawned on me, that is the exact date that the Utah FBI field office appointed their new director. Now tell me, what are the odds of that? Especially since a GMC Yukon Denali is commonly used as an FBI vehicle at the local field offices. After the SUV was used to transport Charlie Kirk to the hospital, the captain's seats were removed and parts of the floorboard were stripped. Now, people are wondering why the SUV wasn't admitted as evidence, but as this person puts it, the SUV wasn't used in a crime, so there's no evidence in it. So then why not just get the car detailed? Why go to this length? The vehicle was then run through a car auction and purchased by its second owner to someone who lives in California. Now, somebody very, very close to me is in the auction car business and told me that is very odd to auction a car to somebody in California versus Utah where the car was, because the transportation fee would be astronomical. But it crossed state lines and then was inspected by Jessup Auto Plaza. The owner of that dealership just happens to be a retired United States Air Force captain. Now, there's a lot of weird things going on with this Denali, including the license plate that has the number 33 in it. What I want to know is who first purchased this vehicle in Utah in February? And why was it stripped down and auctioned off to an owner in a different state?
Rob reminds me of somebody. He reminds me of somebody that used to dress like this. This is what people are saying. All right, guys? And they've been comparing him. This is what people are saying.
I wouldn't put
He's
it past
switching up
him.
outfits, and he's acting like somebody that we know. If you know, you know, and I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, yo. Somebody had the nerve to say that Rob reminds them of Oliver Tree. This is what people are saying. I don't know why they would say that, because those are two different people, but he's kind of acting like him and dressing up with the wigs and stuff. Something's going on here, guys. He's starting to remind me of him, but that's not him. This is Rob. Rest in peace, Oliver Tree. Okay, guys, stop saying that. Could it be? Could it be that those were the... Shut up! I'm not even going to say it because that's not true. But they do share a lot of similarities. They really do. Shut up! It's not a game on you guys. And you see where he was at. He was on Hollywood Boulevard, walking. Something's going on here, bro. Something that I know nothing about. Rest in peace, Oliver Tree. Y'all better stop comparing him to somebody that he's not. But it makes you wonder. Because they all play different roles. These are all actors, in my opinion, even though they're musicians. But actors at the same time, because they chill with actors. This is all the same system. What system are we talking about? Shut up! Rob is laughing at you. He's pointing at you like you think they don't know. It's not a game. Could it be? Could it be? I could be wrong. People are wrong, actually, because Rob is his own person. He is not Oliver. I'm just playing around, guys. Entertainment purposes only. Rest in peace, Oliver Tree. He is not Rob. Please, guys, stop saying that. That's cap. That's not true. I don't know. You don't know. Let me know. I'm out.
Guys, I have been fishing the Rio Grande River for many years now, and I have never seen anything like this. In the last 4 years, the river has dried up pretty much to zero flow, maybe 4 times in the last 4 years that I know of. But this is the first time I've ever got to experience it firsthand. I have pulled up nearly 100 pounds of dead fish just in one little spot, and this dryness stretches for about 5 to 10 miles, man. So this is just a fraction of the unalived fish out here. Some of these catfish are pretty big too. Not like the biggest I've ever seen or anything, nor caught, but gosh, good sized channel catfish. Gone to waste in the dried up Rio Grande. I'm not saying it's going to be the end of all fishing on the Rio Grande River, but it is just a sad sight when you're used to poking around in these spots, to see quality fish that didn't make it.
This is mad, right? And as they got to the location, he's like, I'm buried in there, right? And guess who walks out as he's saying that? His neighbor that killed him in the previous life. And he's like, and he killed me. And apparently the neighbor went white, legged it back into the gaff, and he was like, yeah, and I'm buried there. And judging by the neighbor's reaction, the parents and the doctor, Eli Lash, was like, why is he so panicked? So they called the police, right? This is where it gets mad. To dig up where he's saying his body is. And there's a body there, right? And then later on that evening in questioning, the neighbour admits to killing the man years ago that this little boy claimed to be. Oh my God.
All cults and religions know that something's getting ready to happen.
What do you mean by that?
In witchcraft, they believe that they are getting ready to operate in a new age of enlightenment because something is getting ready to happen. The Muslims believe that their Messiah is getting ready to show up. Christianity believes that Jesus is getting ready to come back. Yeah. The occult world is bracing for a shift in the atmosphere. And in the world, because of AI, the AI issue is going to have to be addressed greatly by the church. Because even Elon Musk said, he said 10 years ago, we didn't think what is going to happen next year could ever happen in the future. It's called AGI.
Yes, I've heard of that.
Every day a president faces storms most people never see. Keep your nerve and remember the nation comes first, you get through. I know you know that feeling yourself.
Well, I appreciate those words. Those words are fantastic. And I just want to say it's an honor to be with you today. We are making a little bit of a tour, some of the fantastic things you've done.
What in the end of times is going on? He was really sitting there having a conversation with AI. He even came out and did a speech saying, I had a great conversation, Teddy Roosevelt. It was amazing. It's amazing. Best convo he's ever had, right? Came out and talked. That's crazy, y'all. What is going on? Are they prepping us for an AI president? Is this the seed being planted? Bringing back Abraham Lincoln to run the country as AI?
I actually thought this was fake at first, but a Michigan town with less than 3,000 people is going head-to-head with an OpenAI Oracle $16 billion data center. In September, the Saline Township Board voted to deny the project, and the Planning Commission had already recommended against it. Within a day of the denial, they got sued by the multi-billion-dollar developer, and they have an annual budget of around $1 million, so it could not realistically afford a long court battle. They were forced to settle, and just weeks later, the bulldozers were already rolling over the farmland. And just last month, the project secured $16 billion in financing to feed some of the biggest tech giants in the world. This is a side of the food system that's not pretty right now, as it means a quiet agricultural community has officially lost 250 acres of farmland. This AI revolution requires hyperscale AI data centers that drain community resources and take up valuable land that can be used for food production. You can see there are tons of localized farmers near Michigan that are trying to regenerate the land, which requires resources as well, but the problems come when sites like this sell at roughly 5 to 7x the fair market value that it would for farmland. We need to fight back because it is very possible to have an ecosystem like this, but right now what's happening is these tech companies are taking over prime agricultural land and permanently converting it for their use.
You know, nothing's gonna change, y'all. Like, what was it? The Trumps, they bought some island or something. Where was it at, y'all? I'm blanking right now. Help me out. But they burned the damn town down. They burned the White House of wherever that was. They burned it down, y'all. We don't want this. Did they still get it? I don't know. I remember there was something with, I don't know if it was in Canada or England, but the farmers, the truckers, they all got on the road and blocked a heavy transported traffic. Blocked it. Ain't nobody coming in, ain't nobody coming out. This is shut down so you agree with us. That's what it's going to take, y'all. It ain't going to take no town meeting. That's what they want. Come to the board meeting. Come. No votes on this of the people, our land. No votes. Do you guys want this? Do you not? It's just their way or the highway. It's going to take all of us to go burn the dam, burn it down. That's the only way it's going to change.
That you're pregnant. There's rumors.
Don't discuss that.
All right. Well, you don't have to.
No, that's okay. No, honestly,
you
how
don't
do
have to
I-
answer me. Let's just toast with champagne. Let's toast to you not being pregnant. If you're not pregnant, then we should.
Oh my goodness! I can't believe that. Why would we toast to that? How about to the future?
Yeah, you can
and
really-
for both of our futures, who knows what they hold?
Who knows?
How strange is it that we all watched this in 2008 and most of us thought it was just comedy on TV? People are finally pulling this clip back up in the comments, and honestly, it is incredibly difficult to watch now. This wasn't a fun interview at all. Mariah was trapped on stage and the host used alcohol to physically back her in a corner and strip away boundaries, basically. And the craziest part is Mariah was actually pregnant at the time, and she tragically miscarried just weeks after this episode aired. She literally told the host that she didn't want to discuss it. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below.
Bro, this game is going to change millions of people's lives, but it's also going to ruin a lot of niggas' lives, bro.
Ruin more
Off
than
rip.
change.
Nigga, we ain't gonna never in history of life see a more pay-to-play game like GTA 6 when it dropped. And it's gonna have that effect on every motherfucking game after this shit drop. Sometimes y'all gotta realize what some of these games do to y'all niggas. It's a straight siphon to deeper shit that you don't even know. You put so much energy and creativity and thousands of hours into something that's only fun and valuable for 3 years, 4 years. GTA 6 is gonna have a million times more damaging on niggas' careers. Some niggas y'all know right now would never be the same after they play this shit. And they probably doing perfectly fine right now. I won't be surprised if some shit just hit the fan completely when it's dropped. Cause everybody gonna be at the crib playing it. Even me. That's tough. Gamer. But what y'all gotta understand is we will never see a more pay-to-play game like this. I know we've been waiting for so long. Some of y'all niggas was little kids. Some niggas wasn't born that watched me when this shit dropped. When GTA 5 dropped. It's been so long, so everybody, this shit is gonna siphon everybody inner child. You're gonna be on that bitch. It's gonna be one of the most captured souls things. Nigga, that shit is a soul snatcher. They might as well call this shit GTA 6 the soul snatcher, nigga. Capturing souls. And then they gonna keep upgrading it. Oh my gosh. I'm saying all this shit. And yes, I'm gonna be on that shit, but I would not be a victim. Y'all know this.
That's how them damn, remember back in Florida like a couple years ago when those so-called aliens came out of the mall?
Miami
and
Mall
shit?
incident, right?
That's because everybody was thinking crazy shit at that time.
Right, exactly. Well, the thing is how do we know that wasn't real?
Right.
No, what I'm saying is,
they were there.
interdimensional beings, right? But what are they talking about now that the UFO files are out? Interdimensional beings.
Right.
The same size motherfucker they're
Right.
talking about.
So all of this has been tied together, people.
What if those 3 earthquakes, what if all the crazy weather that's predicted for this year in our world, what if all of these things are because a new continent is pushing up from the ocean? Sounds strange, right? Well, I believe that the 8th continent, which is Zealandia, I believe someone knows that land is going to push through and appear here shortly. And the weather events are adding up to that being a new continent. But the problem is the earthquakes, the volcano eruptions, the weather, and then the coastal land, meaning any state that's on the coast. They're saying once Zealandia it pushes through the ocean, it's going to change the map. So y'all might want to look into it, but yeah, Super El Nino, the volcano eruptions, plus all of these earthquakes could be because of Zealandia. I'm out.
In Tennessee, if you walk outside at night and you shine a flashlight across the yard, you'll see what you think is dew everywhere. No, they're eyes. They're spider eyes.
Oh, okay. No, well, you probably live in a much more forested area. I feel like I wouldn't see it as much. You know what I mean? We don't have as many trees.
Because someone told me that one time, and I'm like, there's no way. Like, I see dew all the time at night. There's no way those are spiders. And then I would walk up to each of the dew, quote unquote, and it would be spider eyes.
So that's nice. I don't like that, but
yeah, it's awesome.
Do you think it is possible to get people to commit acts that they wouldn't otherwise commit?
I do.
You do?
I do.
You said there are a lot of shrinks at CIA.
Oh my God. There are offices where everybody is either a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and they're operational psychiatrists and psychologists. So you take them with you on an operation to consult with them on how do you get this guy to crack? You want him to just lose his mind. What do I need to do to push this guy over the edge? Right? Or what do I need to do to convince this guy to do something that he definitely doesn't want to do? I used those shrinks on operations. We even hypnotized one guy. He was hypnotized with his arm in the air for 2 hours. Never saw anything like it in my life. And then when he took him out of the hypnosis, his arm fell down. He looked around. He said, "What happened?" And then he vomited. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Well, I heard that pozole originally was made from human meat first.
Oh, tell me that, fool. That's my favorite Mexican
The
dish.
recipe was like created by making it with human meat first, and then after a while, it ended up being.
Have you guys ever heard of the story of when a
Is
mom...
it real? Wait, can you read that real quick?
Yes, according to historical accounts, early versions of pozole were occasionally made with human flesh. In Aztec and Mesoamerican history, the dish was sacred ceremonial soup. Because corn was considered a sacred plant, the stew was prepared for special religious rituals.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So apparently, this nigga Elon Musk has been telling people for years that he's literally an alien. Back in 2018, he was like, I was an alien. In 2024, he was like, I keep telling people I'm an alien, but nobody believes me. In 2025, he was like, no matter how often I tell people that I'm a 5,000-year-old alien time traveler, they don't believe me. And to be honest, if you look at the nigga, he kind of does give off a weird vibe, like an alien type vibe. Like just look at him. You can't tell me that doesn't give you like a reptilian vibe. I don't know, what do you guys think? Is it a psyop? Or is this nigga actually a fucking alien?
After earthquakes, floods, and political turmoil, the skies are now turning red. This is what Venezuela's capital of Caracas looks like today. And while there's a perfectly scientific and non-apocalyptic explanation for this phenomena, with the backdrop of the year that Venezuela has been having, it's fair to understand why this has triggered such a huge amount of superstition online. Because not only was the country thrown into political chaos after Maduro was captured in January, but then the war broke out in the Middle East, only exacerbating their economic hardship. After that, they were hit by not one, but 2 devastating earthquakes, one of which was the most powerful they've experienced in over 100 years. And right as residents are picking up the pieces and searching for the bodies of their loved ones in the rubble, they've been hit by a 3rd natural disaster. Severe flooding is now swept through the country's northwest, submerging homes, overflowing rivers, and causing landslides. And this is all while 43,000 people are still unaccounted for from the earthquakes alone. NASA estimate that nearly 60,000 buildings have been destroyed or damaged, and a food crisis is now looming, with the World Food Program appealing for $15 million to provide emergency food for up to 500,000 people. So, whatever you do, be sure to keep the people of Venezuela in your thoughts and prayers.
You know, to me, there's no coincidence. There's no coincidence that we go get their president, right? Dethrone him, use these crazy, they told us they use crazy heartbeat and the waves to blow their mind and make them pass out, whatever. Remember, they were doing these hypersonic weapons we used on them? And then a crazy earthquake happens not even a year later, months later. Now flooding. There's no coincidence in that, y'all. There's no coincidence that those earthquakes, you know what I mean? But anyways, y'all, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. An hour and 11 minutes. Jeez, man. Jeez, you got to leave a like for that. A banger today, y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to put yesterday's reaction on my second channel up here for you guys. Playlist over here. I got one more day and then I'm off on 4th of July. We'll get into that tomorrow. Hope everyone out there has a good Thursday. Already Thursday, y'all. Already. Is it me or are these weeks flying by like no tomorrow? It's ridiculous. It's already Thursday. I'm going to see you guys on Friday. Later.